Well, the Ottawa Senators are just back from the longest road trip in franchise history. 9 games on the road. So you'd imagine that there might be a bit of excitement in the building tonight. We're joined now by Senators owner Michael Andlauer. I don't think this is what we expected from the Senators after being on the road so long. What are your impressions from the game so far?
Oh, don't get me going here. I'm the biggest fan here. I'm not a little frustrated, but you know, it was a grueling nine game road trip. You come back home, and usually after those trips, the first game back is always the toughest one. I just didn't think it was going to be that tough.
Yeah, just getting the cobwebs out, okay? We'll say that.
Exactly.
Okay, I got to ask you about the hat. 613, the area code in the area. Why are you wearing it?
You know why. You know, I'm not on social media, but I get the feedback. Our media guys get back, and when I hear things that are not right, sometimes I'd like to speak up because I owe it to my fans.
Okay, now I just want to clarify what you're talking about, because there's been rumors that you're selling the OHL team, the Brantford Bulldogs that you own, and that you'd relocate to Belleville, or the Belleville team rather, to Hamilton. Is there any truth to this?
That's why I'm wearing the 613. 613 is Sens country, and as far as I'm concerned, when I bought the OHL team, it was the Belleville Bulls. I was being loyal to my community in Hamilton, and today is a different story. Ironically enough, I got kicked out of our place in Hamilton, ended up being in Brantford. Brantford's an incredible OHL community. They love their hockey. It's been a great 2 years, the Bulldogs in Brantford. Very deserving of an OHL team. As for the American Hockey League team, it's strategic to be in Belleville. Like I said, it's a 613. It's part of our. It's Sens country, and Belleville is here to stay. As far as I'm concerned, they're great fans. Very similar to what Brantford has in the OHL. Maybe some of the rumor is true, but the one part that's not true is Belleville's there to stay, and I'm looking forward to spending a lot more time in Belleville.
Okay, well, I won't ask you about the first rumor, because I think that, might be in the works in the next week or so. We'll come back to that later. We had NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman join us on the broadcast a couple of weeks ago, and when we asked him about where things stand with LeBreton Flats and an update, he said, well, you got to ask Michael Andlauer. So I'm going to ask you, where do things stand with that? And also, what are the financing plans for that arena?
Yeah, I mean, first, it's a process. And when I was told, when dealing with the NTC was going to be difficult, it was. It took a whole year to get this deal done. And I'm optimistic, but I'm cautious as well. Like I said, I always want to do what was best in the interest of the fans. It's got to be right for our fans. To be continued, okay. But it's a process. It takes longer than I'd like to, unfortunately.
Where are you in that process? What's the next step right now?
There's some, the understanding is there. There were terms in our agreement that talked about fair market value, which I'm totally for, which is what I want. What's fair, and let's just hope the NCC doesn't change the rules at the last second.
Okay. Now, one thing, I hate to bring this up, okay, because I feel like we bring it up every time we talk to you, but recently there was the Board of Governors meeting, and fans are really curious about this first-round draft pick that's going to have to be given up sometime in the future, whether that's this year or next year, and there might be some potential relief. Is there any potential relief that you can see on the horizon? Just being a good citizen and beg for forgiveness, even though it's something that I didn't do. It wasn't under my watch. But it's a first-round pick is very important for the development. It's something that we would dearly miss, and that's another reason why Belleville is such an important part of the Sens organization, the development and the proper development. So that's to be continued, and that's up to the commissioner. But in the meantime, we'll continue to be good citizens. Okay. While we're being good citizens, let's talk about the product on the ice. We're almost at the halfway point of the season. The Senators currently 15, 21, and 5. How would you evaluate the first half of the season? Has it gone how you expected or how you'd like it? I mean, we're right in the thick of things. We knew it wasn't going to be easy.
I didn't think we were going to get the type of injuries that we've had. So we haven't had lady luck on our side from that standpoint. But, you know, I've seen it on the broadcast. You know, you get your 20 wins in the first 41 games, and things are looking good. So we're in a good position. We just got to keep it up and keep on having the right habits moving forward for our team.
Okay, Michael, thank you for joining us as always. Here's a fan, one of the fans you're fighting for. We've got this Sens fan. He wants to see more wins in the new year in 2025. Well, we've got a lot more games tonight, 20 minutes in fact, and we've, of course, got more games in this season. Michael Andlauer, owner of the Ottawa Senators, thank you for joining us.